Where's the clicker? You got it.
He's got this.
Are we live? I put us. Yeah, we're live. Hey, we're live.
Thanks for letting me know.
No, sorry. Okay. Hey, what up, everybody?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Oh shit. Okay. Hell yeah. That's fun. No, this is good. Listen, this is fun.
Look, we are live.
We are live. This is actually not a problem. That's the stream. That's me puking. Sorry, that's a different thing. Sorry, CCP Convict. I thought I said it. That was my bad. But you know what? It's just this is the way it goes. So, hello everybody. We are live. We were supposed to be sound checking, but I pressed the wrong button. So we're doing this instead. Hope
Fuck it,
you're
we'll
all
do it live.
Yeah, we're gonna do it live. We actually are gonna do it live. So this is Frontier Monday.
It's like Frontier Friday, but objectively
like
worse in every way.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is like, yeah, oh my god. I'm trying to get over to our stream so I can watch. There we go.
You're doing a great job
Thank you.
hosting.
We are back. Hello, I'm CCP Jötunn. This is our product or our development director, CCP Bowman. This is our game director, CCP Goodfella, and this is that rat bastard, CCP Overload, our product manager. And we're here because on the 11th, we're having a patch. Gentlemen, it's been a long
Air
time.
horns. Now we should have the confetti again. Yeah.
So
Let's
we do,
fucking go.
I do feel bad because I did absolutely just shit in CCP Convict's Cheerios, but he's a legend. He's on the ball. He's getting the job done. Hell yeah.
He knows.
You
his
have-
job.
You have
he
an
knows
applause
his
button.
work.
Use the applause button. It's the
Yes.
perfect opportunity.
It's one of those over there.
It's one of those buttons.
Just press it all.
Nope.
No, that's crickets. Okay. So we do this before every big cycle because we want to get, not only be transparent about what we've been doing, but also build a little bit of hype. So today we're going to go through the patch notes.
Yep.
We have patch notes for cycle, or it's going to be patch 0.5.1 is the start of cycle 5, which is called the Shroud of Fear, which is a pretty cool name. We have new art coming out as well if you want a new background for your computer.
It's a very
Or your-
appropriate title as well,
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
been played.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody who was on that...
It's almost like we planned this shit.
Yeah, right. Anybody who was on
Well
the grid...
done, us.
Anybody who's on the grid on Sunday knows exactly how much fear there is to be shrouded. If you were not part of this chat,
Especially by NPC Jötunn.
listen,
That's
we-
true. All those that follow
we
CCP
persisted for a
Jötunn
long
died.
time
What
on
kind of
that
leader is
grid.
that?
I think we only lost a couple ships, including my own. But yeah, we fought Zorodi Titavisa on Sunday. That was kind of nuts. He was very big and scary and mean, and he had a lot of bad little men follow him around. And boy, howdy, those bad little men just fucked me up. So
You're welcome, by the way, because I was there just keeping things smooth. You didn't notice it, but I
did
was
see-
healing you.
Yeah, I saw you heal my hull hit points at one point. Were you the one who teleported me outside of the Zorodi model as well?
You're asking if I took you from your position of cowardice and let you face the enemy head on.
That was a
Then that's
strategic
correct.
position I was taking inside the model of Zorodi Titavisa. Apparently, there was some subterfuge going on there. Okay. But all this being said, cycle 4 is about to wrap up. It's been a hell of a cycle. We had a bunch of big stuff come out in December. It's been a long time since we've done a big cycle release. This was our longest cycle so far at 3 months. But cycle 5 is very nearly here.
Yep.
So
I know probably only the brightest of minds in the community were able to crack the code that we had a stream on Friday and said a release is imminent. So I know we're catching most people off guard. Probably
yeah, I
like
know.
most people only like the brightest of
it
bright
definitely
minds.
didn't help that we then immediately sent out an email that said, "Hey, by the way, the cycle starts on Wednesday." We did do that, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it was intentional. Shout out to CCP. I don't know his name. CCP name. The young lad.
Omega.
Omega. That's right. I do know his name.
I know all of our colleagues' names because I
so-
respect them as people,
Yeah.
unlike you.
We're gonna look away from that. So we're gonna go through the patch notes. You're gonna see everything, or just about everything that's gonna be in here.
Yeah.
We have some videos. We have some images. I specifically included not every single thing that you're gonna see visually because I want people to be able to go out there and actually see it for themselves. Because I can tell you right now, at least visually,
Crazy.
my God, it is nuts.
Insane.
So
And it's also a snapshot of what is coming on Wednesday.
yeah,
There's immediately a patch the day after, which we've
Day
been
one
patch. Day one
working
patch.
hard on.
Yeah.
And then this is the delta between mid early January to now. This is everything we've been able to do. Momentum is increasing, so they're going to see more and more during this cycle as well.
For all the presumably thousands upon thousands of fans of project
Legions.
management tracking tools.
Of course.
I had a look at how many Jira tickets are attached to the release for Wednesday. As of this morning, it's over 400, and
Wonderful.
each of those is like a full thing.
Uh-huh.
There's more. We checked as well. More than 30,000 file changes and stuff in this release versus just a couple of weeks ago. Really.
Like an
And
air
that's not
horn
the migration either.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not it's purely
This is
development
definitely the
features.
biggest technical lift we've done for a new cycle. And actually, to come on to that briefly, normally, as you know, dear founders, when we do these cycle resets, it's quite a big thing to reset everything, deploy the new stuff. So we usually go down around 11 UTC, aim to come back up at 1400.
We're going to talk about this at the very end of the stream.
Are we?
FYI, I have a slide for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just never mind then.
Okay. It's a good slide. I promise.
Forewarning.
It's a really
Forewarning.
Forewarning.
Might take us longer.
It might take a little bit longer than the hour it usually does. There are a couple things, just to get out ahead of it a little bit, there are a couple things that didn't make it in for this patch. I know destruction and rebuilding didn't quite make it in, but this is one of the things we talked about a little bit earlier. We're committing to a pretty big patch, not the day one patch, but not too long after that, where I think we're going to see a lot more little things get in here.
Oh yeah, it won't wait until we get to another major milestone.
Yeah.
These are things that we promised we'll deliver them.
And that's the nature of development.
Yeah.
We are extremely transparent with our intent. We overachieve in some places, we underachieve in others, and then we keep everybody up to date on what the hell is going on.
Speaking of overachieving, unrelated, if you haven't seen it yet, viewers, great trailer went out today. Featuring you over here.
I have to watch it.
You and CCP Maximum Cats. Yeah. Maximum Cats looking very ethereal in that trailer with the long flowing locks.
Yeah. Proper chat.
Yeah, real proper chat energy. Okay. Enough faffing about. Let's go to the patch notes.
To the good stuff.
It's like Sigma chat or something.
Here's a very exciting. Yeah, right. Here's the very exciting new key art. Love that for us. Looks very cool. All right, so let's take it through. So this is the slide we show basically every time we do one of these.
Yes.
This is still, of course, what we are aiming for. We want to continue to be grounded in science. We want the world to feel real. We want it to feel predictable.
Intuitive, immersive,
yep.
Built on rules that make logical sense so that you can reason with it. Whether it's flying, the story of the game, everything should feel intuitive. The best way for something to be intuitive is if it's grounded in science.
Real.
Yeah.
We want it to continue to be a cruel survival experience as well. We want it to feel unforgiving, something that you have to conquer, something you have to overcome. There is no reward but through adversity.
Yes.
Certainly. That is why, of course, war is the greatest endeavor. It is the ultimate adversity, unlike peace. And then, of course, obviously, we want to be rebuilding a broken world. We want to give players the tools to create civilization out of the ether, basically. Yes. We don't want them to just be handed the gift of civilization. We want them to have to work for it.
And define it. We want them to decide what their civilization will look like.
Yeah.
And build the world with us as well. Yeah. Modders. It's a very meta pillar.
Indeed. Okay. So we continue. This is, again, just sort of our golden path is what we're aiming for. We're in here somewhere in terms of what kind of experience we're now able to put through. But more exciting than that, here's the timeline we released a couple weeks ago. And hey, look, here we are. We're over here towards the end of this section. We've been from founder access. Now we've done 4 cycles. Coming into the 5th cycle, I've added this helpful infographic here so you can see where you are.
It's good.
Yeah, pretty useful.
If I had one critique, I would put the arrow on the other side of the line.
So because we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Well, we're starting. We've got 2 more days.
You know what? It's a good point. It's a good point. Okay, so let's get into it then. So here's the first big news.
Yep.
I want to get this out ahead of everything because this is the biggest technical lift we've had to do so far.
Except maybe the Python upgrade.
The Python upgrade
but this is equivocal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me?
I think that's a word.
Equivocable?
I think equivable is also a word.
I don't know if equivable is a word.
Equivalent.
Equivalent. Yeah, sure.
Equivalent.
It can be equived.
So
equivable. It is equivable.
Yeah.
We are moving to the Sui chain. If you don't know what that means, there's a whole dev blog about it. You can check out all the details. Knowers in the chat understand how big of a deal this is, and know that this is a
Shout out to the team for who accomplished this. It's going out on Wednesday because it is a huge lift. They've had to be working to do something that you shouldn't even notice.
Yes.
They've spent months and months and months building something that you would literally go, it feels the same. That's the point.
Feels same but smoother. Shout out to the Sweet team as well.
Yeah.
We
For all the
have
support.
true partners there that are extremely passionate about Frontier being a success. And now that the technical, a lot of effort has gone into the technical migration, which is, as Overlord is talking about, it should just work smoothly if intended. But now, after this, we can put all this brain power that went into the lift into making cool stuff for builders, cool stuff for players playing the game, to make the game itself better, much faster, allowing you to do different things. And CCP Goodfella, this may come as a surprise to everyone on the stream. As brilliant of a mind that CCP Goodfella is,
humble as well.
Very humble. Most humble man I've heard.
he is not the best engineer in the world. I know this is a shocker, but this is a revealing moment here. However, CCP Goodfella is stubborn from the north of Iceland.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a tough place to live.
Yes. And CCP Goodfella has been being the patient zero on builder documentation.
I see.
I should be close to the mic. Been experimenting, building, role-playing as a third-party developer. And if I switch to first-person speaking now, I've had an awesome time and a surprisingly easy time building third-party applications on this new tech stack. And I am not a good engineer. I just like creating cool stuff, and I am stubborn, and I am fine with exposing how little I know on some things. So if you're out there, if you're passionate about creating cool stuff, agnostic of how good you are as an engineer, try out the hackathon.
Cool.
Build that stuff.
$80,000 prize pool.
Yes.
If you're just hearing about this for the first time, check it out.
Yeah, big old
and
prize
I
pool.
mean that from the bottom of my heart. This is super cool work that the team has done, and it's much more testament of their ability of creating something that is easy and understandable, rather than my own ability.
And as we say here, if Goodfella's capable of doing it, anybody is really. So,
if he can get out of bed in the morning, so can I.
Exactly. Exactly.
Really interesting too. This is a big deal for obviously the chain swap is kind of a big deal for developers. Obviously, most players probably aren't going to recognize too much of a difference with this. They're not really going to see the.
That's the beauty of it.
Not at first.
Not at first, but. Where this is going to make a big deal is for location obfuscation, which comes out of the door immediately, because we've had issues with the past. I think probably understandably issues with the past, where players were able to very easily find basically anyone else in the universe as long as they had put structures down, because all the structures,
told them where it was.
all the structures were available
yeah.
and easily seen on grid. So now we're getting rid of that. You can only see the structures as a hash. You no longer see the exact location in the universe. We are, of course, aiming for down the road, making some of that information something that you can then give to other people.
You can itemize
We are.
data.
I was just working with CCP Röður on that before. We are working on having that in a point release as early as possible. Basically, if you want to reveal the location, broadcast it. If you think about it that way, you can do it.
Like if you're running a network of fuel depots or something like that, you want people to be able to know where the nearest Overload's finest fuel is and head over there.
Basically, you, the person, the builder that created this assembly, I choose if I want to
reveal it.
Reveal the coordinates of that.
So if you wanted to reveal the location of your local gas station, you certainly could do that and let people know, hey, here's a place where you can come and be safe in the warm embrace of my
your war
fuel
machine
facilities. Yeah, my war machine. But you don't have to. And you certainly may not want to in some cases. Certainly, I think that's been the case for a lot of players, that they would have rather people not known where all the network nodes are.
And then you pair that with not proper defenses, on-chain thing, no recovery. It has been Frontier has been rough. It's been
too rough.
It's been a rough part of town.
Okay, so this is, like I said, a big deal. There's only one slide about it, but I cannot understate how big of a deal this is. Shout out to our team, the EveNet team. Shout out to the Missing Labs team. Overstate it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along. Let's get into the sauce. So here's the first big deal. This is signature and scanning. So we are introducing a new way to find things on a grid, in an area directly around you. What you're seeing here is what's called the first iteration of this is the passive observation system. And what that means is, instead of just saying, okay, you do or you don't see something nearby, now you have what are these unverified signatures for things in space around you. Your ship natively is going to constantly try to resolve what it sees as unknown signatures around it at range. Okay, if something is right up on top of you, you'll be able to see it like normal. But if something is, 100 kilometers away, 200 kilometers away, your ship is not going to know what it is immediately. And you're going to have to try and resolve what that signature is. If that means that you have to perform some action, you have to get closer to it, you have to spend more time looking at it, any number of things to see what this thing is. That then changes. Like I said, I think we take this away from it's no longer just you see it or you don't. There's now this gradient of understanding, and the way this works is by introducing signatures. So the first signature that we're introducing are the gravitational signatures, and that basically just how much gravity, how much mass does the thing have, right? So your ship, and you're going to see this here in a second. You can actually see this little icon here in the bottom right. This is the first of these. This is what the signatures look like in space. Over there on the right, you can see the gravity signature trying to resolve. That bar there indicates how much mass the thing has, and you can see it's the white bar and the orange bar trying to convene in the middle or at some point in between the two of them, and that will be sort of the resolved signature. We actually have a video. If I want to go to the, I'm sure you guys will get screenshots of this. You post them at whatever you need to do. It's not a big deal. You understand this.
So the cool thing about this one, as I can say quickly, is first of all, there's a bit of like just basic uncertainty, because now there's signatures that may be only like 50 kilometers away from you, and it hasn't resolved yet, and you're sort of trundling towards it, and you're like, is this loot? Is this an NPC? Is this a baddie? And then it pops in, you're like, oh, it's an NPC. Yeah. Oh no, it's a big one. Yeah. Then because it's based on mass, if you're in like a very small ship, by the time you resolve a much bigger signature, let's say another player in a bigger ship, you're going to resolve them before they're going to resolve you. Yeah. So you know they're there, and you can turn around, and they might not know you're there yet. Yep. So there's now an advantage for having like light scouts to go ahead, because they're going to be harder to detect by enemies. Where you keep your heavy forces like in reserve, because if you bring in the heavy ships, they're going to be detected much further out. Yeah. So that becomes a really cool bit of counterplay.
This is all available for the hackathon as well, right? This will be in the systems. Yeah. So I know there was a question with that.
Yeah. And I think it's important to note here, this paired with other things as well, pacing of the game, especially related to progression or kind of how fast you can go through different systems or make decisions, etc., is being changed. Yeah. You need to find out more things about the world. There will be some players, I am sure of, I'm just kind of predicting, that feel like suddenly they're progressing way slower than before, and then they will get worried because they are not progressing as quickly as they used to be. Frontier is harsh when it comes to competition and fending off other people's attacks, etc. Just know that this impacts everybody equally. Everybody's game is about to drastically change as you need to find out what is in the world.
And this is the system that we can build on over time. So as you mentioned, this is the first one, gravitational signatures. There's a couple of examples here, like EM and heat signatures. So for example, two light ships that are identical in every way would detect each other at the moment at the same range. Right. But in the future, maybe one of them is like running a bunch of mining lasers at the same time. So they're generating a lot of heat. So they're going to be much more detectable on the thermal things further out. So it allows us to really expand on this and add way more ways of detecting people, being detected, hunting people, and being hunted.
I've seen CCP Paragon not that long ago talk about some like a communication signature as well, where if a group of ships are in a fleet, they might put out like transponder signatures that you pick up on. Where you get like if you see a fleet nearby, you can all of a sudden see a bunch of signatures all talking to each other, which is very spooky.
So that's not in this build.
It's not in this build.
To be very clear. Right. But now we have the technology that allows us to do this.
I have a video here actually that'll show you a little bit of how this works. So here's the first instance of it. You can see if you look over here, off there in the distance, there's this little icon, and we're gonna zoom in on it, and you're gonna see when you zoom in this thing just kind of jitters around. It's your ship trying to resolve whatever this thing is. It doesn't know what it is. It might be a player. It might be an NPC. It might just be a rock. And honestly, depending on the player, it might be a player and a rock.
But it's a mid-mass.
But it is a mid-mass. You can see over there on the right how it's trying to resolve. It's not huge. Certainly not huge.
Yeah.
But as you get closer to this thing, you will eventually resolve it into something that your ship can then read. In fact, I have another video right after this showing it a little bit more detail. So here we are in another orbital zone, and we'll get to orbital zones here in a little bit. And over here, we can see a signature that is getting close to being resolved. We're getting a lot closer to it. And I think it resolves itself when we go into tactical mode here. It does. And there it is. Now you can see it. It is an asteroid. But what you're going to see here, it's kind of cool. And I skimmed over this just a minute ago. But we're going to see it in this video too, is while you are constantly trying to resolve these signatures and get more information about them, the same is true about losing information if you look away.
Correct.
Or if you put yourself in a position where you can no longer see it. And you're about to see here in just a moment, there's a signature that's going to show up here, 2 signatures that's going to show up just over here, down there. But because I've now gone behind this rock, they both disappear. I can no longer see them.
Signal's being blocked.
The signal's been blocked. So if I want to be able to resolve that signature, I now need to come around this rock, and you'll see them start to pop back into your ship is actively trying to resolve whatever it thinks is over there. Watch this. All right, now we have a line of sight with it again. All right, there it is, trying to resolve it. And then it's going to flicker away because we're really, really far away and it doesn't have any information about it. Though it is trying to, you can see it quick. Oh yeah, see, it's losing information pretty fast. So it is a gradient, a pretty wide gradient
pops in
of yeah.
And if you see that flickering, it's at the extreme range that you're picking it up. So that tells you information right there.
What is kind of interesting about this, and I think I mentioned this to somebody fairly recently, is this idea that you can be sitting somewhere in space and you'll have a signature suddenly appear somewhere in the distance, and you don't know if that signature is just an NPC passing by or just a rock that maybe you've gotten close to, or another player, and that other player doesn't know this, might not know the same thing about you.
But they might.
But they might, and you have no way of knowing.
They might have known it a lot longer than you knew.
Correct.
Right?
I think it's worth calling out, maybe you have it, what is not in this release, but we're working on in terms of the active.
Oh yeah, we don't have that in here, but yeah, that's we have. I think we had a prototype announced or shown up today at one of the meetings, didn't we?
The team is extremely greedy about getting it in as soon as possible because they're so passionate about scanning and signature overall. So one thing is this passive, which is kind of the detectors that you have on your ship that detect things that are around you. The other thing is then if you actively want to find out more about your surroundings.
Yep.
Obviously, knowing signatures, that comes at a cost as well in terms of
your own signature.
Yes,
Real.
exactly.
Casperated in chat wanted to know, can this create phantom signatures, like signatures that aren't actually anything?
Not in this build.
No, but what's very interesting is that it can create. You can basically disappear as your signature by being near something else that is a big signature.
We also talked about things like in World War II, for example, they used to use like submarines would pop out these like fizzing canisters that would make a lot of noise in the water for the hydrophones to lock onto for the ships. We talked about having like deployables and
decoys
and like decoy drones. Like you launch a decoy thing that generates like a lot of like signal noise and kind of maybe disrupts a long range signature scan on you while you can try and escape and things. So that gives us a lot of opportunity to add in these things.
But we built the technology and the infrastructure for it now exists. So it's now data, and data is a lot faster than the infrastructure.
Yes, this is systemic. This is a very important systemic leap.
Yeah,
and to be very fair too, this has not been balanced, not really. So there's probably a lot of tuning work that needs to go into it. But I can tell you right now, just from playing through it over the last,
it's already fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
In fact, it was so weird the other day when we were doing the Moon Eater thing, the Zerodi thing, because when you go to the Zerodi in the newest build, the build we've got in the test server, when the enforcers all spawn in, they spawn in as unconfirmed signatures. And what's really scary about it is that when you get unconfirmed signatures that spawn in space around you, there's this little like ticking sound. When a new signature pops in, just like a little popping sound of
like a Geiger counter.
It's exactly what it is. It's like this little like weird little tick.
Danger.
Saying like, hey, there's a new signature nearby, and all of a sudden you're sitting here, and then they're like, tick, 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 tick,
Yeah, I can imagine you're just sitting like mining, like you hear this sort of like hum of the mining lasers, and you hear like a tick, and then like tick, 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 tick. You're like, oh, what's happening here? And that's a fleet coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we not going to tell the community about the skill signature thing?
The what now?
So we had we were experimenting with the skill signature thing, where it like picks up on your skill as well.
I see what's going on here.
Jötunn was playing, and it just always came out 0, and we're still trying to debug what that means.
Fascinating.
If
I don't think
somebody,
it was in the patch notes.
No. It was yeah.
Known defect.
yeah, it's
Gotcha.
a known
Understood.
defect. We are trying to debug it. We have our best minds of it.
You talk a lot for somebody who could wear like a hat. Okay. Scooting on ahead. Let's talk character progression. So, you already saw a little bit of this in Cycle 4, but this is getting wildly expanded in Cycle 5. We now have shell industry, shell fittings, and crowns. So riders are now able to manufacture the shells they create, which are the bodies that your self inhabits. Lets you then control you can control the production of those shells, the storage of those shells, and the enhancement of those shells. We've introduced now 2 new structures to industry, that being the nest and the nursery. The nursery is how you manufacture shells. You can use them to build shells over time, and the nest is where you put the shells once you've manufactured them. Over here on the right, you can see an example of what the nursery looks like. At least the industry page for the nursery. You have the aggressive shell, the reaping shell, and the rugged shell. These are just the first 3 manufacturable shells that you can get out. These are obviously pretty. To be clear, you don't have to do this. You can still use just the basic shell if you want to, but if you want to get the most out of your experience, your memories,
This allows for more mastery, freedom of choice for players.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. The people that have been with us for longer will know that in December we introduced the first version of character progression, and we talked about going from 0 to 1 is the big win.
Yep.
And now, as we have that in, it is way easier to build on top of that. So getting this in now, sky is the limit for more complexities in industry. That opens up mastery. It opens up kind of specialization.
Shell trading.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
do we intentionally name a shell after the fucking reapers? We do have a reaping shell. There's no way we did that on purpose.
I, as envoy of Peaceful Trade Empire.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
For my great
Yeah,
ally.
Okay, so
The
again,
mighty tribe
the
reapers.
nest is a small-scale storage facility. This is what you use to house your shells once they're produced. You can store them in there. It acts just like a normal storage unit, but specifically for bodies, for shells. We also have now a shell sheet, which is what you do. You go into to improve those shells. You can equip them with crowns. You use the memories to make crowns, and then you can use those crowns to customize and improve the shells. We have a little bit of footage here of interacting with the shell industry. Got to pull us back here on the screen. This acts just like a normal industry system. You have ingredients you have to put into it to actually build the shells here, and then it will print one out. They do take a little while. This one takes, I think, 10 hours to produce, but they are worth having. They have, at least straight at the gate, some pretty significant benefits. And then over here, you can see me interacting with, so this is the standard incarnation shell that I'm wearing right now. If I then go over here to the nest and open up, you can see Thick Boy, my rugged shell. I have activated it. Now you can see my old incarnation shell go into the nest as a result. And now I open it back up, and here we are, Thick Boy. This is my new rugged shell. Now in this video, I didn't
Level
have
0, much like you.
Well, indeed. In this video, I didn't have any memory, so I couldn't really do anything else with it. But take my word for it. If you have memory, you can do some cool improvements here. And we'll have more information about that, coming out before too long.
This is like the visuals also of it. And this is where we are taking the experience overall. The characters in Frontier deserve to be shown more to players and used more by players, etc. We have an extremely talented character team on Frontier.
Yeah.
And now we are starting to see more of the light of day when it comes to being able to show what characters are, or shells, clones.
Indeed.
The self in Frontier.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. So this is just more information about this, about the character sheet itself. We've now overhauled the character sheet. It has all this information in it. We've also updated the Ascension Protocol UI. So when you go to Ascend, you go to turn those memories into something that you then can turn into improvements for your shell or for yourself rather. That has all been smoothed out. At least it's been updated. Still a lot of updates to come with this as well.
Yeah, I mean, basically with the crowns, the ability to store your memory into a crown and then use those crowns to pass on those traits.
Right. It is just a way for you to take your experience, your learned experience day to day in the frontier, and turn that into something that can be an advantage.
Persistent item.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Which can be lost.
Can be lost.
Yes.
Here's one that I'm very excited about. Camera improvements. There have been a lot of them. Shout out to our crack art intern, CCP Manbjorn, who's been working on a lot of these.
Thick boy intern.
Our thick boy intern, CCP Manbjorn, who I'm sure loves this every time. If anything is funny, every single time. We've introduced a couple of different cameras, 2 new cameras, 1 improved cameras, then a couple of different camera alterations. We're going to go through these each individually here in just a moment. So just kind of look at this real fast. Look at it. Okay, going ahead. So we have the chase camera. This is something we've kind of alluded to in the past in some of the videos we've put out. The chase camera is, and you're going to see it here in just a minute too, a camera that kind of just swings on a hotkey back behind your ship and will sit there until you tell it to move otherwise. The orbit camera is just a standard camera where you can drag it and move it all over the screen. But the chase camera, you just hit the C button and it will immediately take the camera and just park it back behind you. Great for maneuvering in tight spaces. I can do that for goddamn sure.
Yes.
I have used it significantly for that reason. Also, it's very cinematic. We also now have a tracking camera. If you select the target and hit T, your camera will then focus both on you and the target that you're now tracking, being able to put them both in the same frame all the time. Super useful if you're trying to track,
It's super cool, all of it.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. We also have a new composition manager that just kind of makes things more visually interesting on screen. Tries to keep things lined up in a way that is engaging. And like I said, you're going to see, here's what the chase camera looks like. So you're just flying along, zooming along. You press the C button here in just a moment, and there we go. Now we're locked in behind it. And it just sort of softly follows you. It's not like the previous track, because I know people were able to track my own ship before, and that would lock the camera hard behind the ship. This is a little bit softer. You'll see some more softer turns in here too. I'm glad I used this video because the video before this, I got a little bit greedy and went between 2 rocks and absolutely got myself stuck.
No, you just went nowhere between.
Yeah, I didn't even aim close. To one. I wanted to avoid it entirely.
But this is, if I can add some color commentary.
Yeah, please.
It was a super good thread on Reddit out there. I was just dunking on our controls.
Yes.
Which is good. We are creating a game that is visceral, focuses a lot on moment-to-moment gameplay, where you are skillfully navigating your spaceship in close encounters. You really feel like a spaceship captain in a way. There's a lot. It's very easy to say that. There's a lot of wizardry from a cracked thick boy Manbjorn,
of course,
intern and others as well to make that feel good. This is a step in that direction.
Yep.
It feels way better already, but we are nowhere near done with that as well.
Yep.
But saying WASD controls is one thing. Doing it, making it good is a whole another, because people who have been playing FPS games or whatever have a very kind of specific assumptions on what that means when it comes to fidelity of control of the character.
Yeah, and we have some specific assumptions right now built into this, and as we go forward, we can give those to the players so that they can define that experience more themselves.
Yeah. You can see in here too, this is what the tracking camera looks like. It'll always try and put the target in the center of the screen and keep your ship in there as well, which is super, super useful. Let's go back to this next one. I think, here we go. We've also updated the telescope mode. The telescope camera previously was kind of shit and just kind of was super jittery in and out. It was not a very smooth experience. It has been improved pretty significantly. I can tell you I'm actually using it now for the first time ever. And you can see it a little bit here. For example, I want to look at this bad boy up over here. I can do that without the camera just jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
It feels much smoother. And of course, I'm not seeing a whole lot here because there's some smoke. But I can look over here. Oh yeah, look at that.
And we are working on the sensitivity still on, like, because it's a different grades of zoom in,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then the sensitivity kicks in. So there are some adjustments there that we will need to continue to do, but also then giving freedom to players to be able to think about like a scope
Yeah.
of a gun,
Yep.
to be able to, depending on your preference of sensitivity, to be able to configure it.
You can actually see the targeting reticule for the future manual firing mode moving around the screen there whenever
Yes.
you move the cursor around. That is an upcoming feature. We have not included that one in this, but I think we talked about it on the roadmap stream not too long ago.
Yep.
Manual firing is coming
Yes.
sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Manual targeting, basically.
Manual
It's
targeting,
the ability to shoot to interact at a distance.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Yep.
It's not just shooting projectiles. It
Yep.
is any interaction at a distance.
Yeah. So this is super cool. I love that one. Shout out to that team for working on these. That chase camera is so cool, and is going to make for a lot of really cool footage, certainly, and really makes it feel like you are playing with a chase camera with the hand on the stick and mouse. Oh, I love it. It's so good. There's also a new undock camera. This is not super flashy or anything, and it's not a huge, like a massive improvement, but it's smoother. It's a little bit more casual. A little more cinematic. This is not a great one because it's not pointing at the sun.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, great footage. Listen, I've been up since 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I showed you
Scott,
the other day how
so you
to
just
turn.
calm down.
I showed you the other day how to turn.
I was
the
doing this
sun
an
around.
hour before I left to come into the office, sir. I'm very tired. You need to give me a break.
I literally showed him how to turn the sun around for
You did
cinematic
tell me how to
shots.
turn the sun around. All right, we're gonna go ahead and skip this.
This is great. This is fantastic.
Thank you.
This is
All right.
super good. This
I
is
didn't
your
see any
best.
you smart ass
This
putting
is-
together the
If you
presentation.
have a really good
This is-
monitor, it looks
It
wonderful.
does. It's
Yeah.
great on my OLED. So we have some base building updates as well. By the way,
I like how you picked the one with the old asset.
well, yeah, of course. I mean, this is in the game right now.
Yeah, but there's other ones that have new assets that look.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
but-
This is
Play the game.
Yeah.
Then you'll see
Look
that.
at this.
Yeah,
See
it's a
that?
teaser.
Yeah.
we have.
The
We have
300 IQ move by Scissor.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Need a moment here. Let me compose myself. So we've now introduced construction sites. We talked about these not that long ago with the base building team about how we're now going to be implementing something that is not quite tribal base building, but is in the same ballpark. And we're getting very close. So instead now of just building, and we're going to have a video of this here in a moment too, instead of now just building directly from the build menu, you can put down these construction sites. You move over to the construction site, you deposit the
Resources.
the resources for that site from not just your ship, but from any storage container in the area. So you don't have to have all the stuff in your ship. If you want to build something, you can just build it straight out of a storage unit, and that will deploy it into space like this. Any player, period, can deposit material into these construction sites to build them out. And since it is a little bit more time intensive because you do have to like put the thing down, then go over there and deposit the stuff into it, we have reduced the construction times by 20% for all structures to make it just a little bit easier.
Yep.
Which is super, super nice. Outside of your base, if you're just out in the field, not putting down any portable structures, or we're now calling field structures, still requires you to have the material in your cargo hold. But when you're at your base, you can kind of freewheel it.
Wesley asks, what about SSUs? Can you take from them too? The answer to that is no. We are still, we'll get to that essentially because we've been just moving everything over onto Sui. So this is feature parity. So you should expect, for the most part, interactions with things like the SSUs and stuff to be as it was, or as it is today on Stillness. But that's like kind of on our list of things to do once we are running forward with Sui.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. We now also have, here we go. Here's a cool video. So you can see there are a couple structures put down here. First of all, I love the new build mode grid. It's super hot. This is not super new, but it is cool. So what you do then is you put down a structure. In this case, we're going to put down a turret. We're going to drag the turret up over here, and then you're going to press F, and that will just put down a construction site. The construction site is not building currently. It is just a thing in space that says, hey, you can deposit material here.
Yeah.
And it will, you'll see it here in just a moment too. We're going to actually, I think, do one more here. Yes, we're going to do one more. Yeah, here we go. So we'll then, we'll put one more down. Listen. Beautiful. All right.
It's good.
With that down, then you just interact with it, and then you have this new interface. The new interface allows you to drop material into it. and then once you've dropped the material in, it will begin building.
Oh.
And that's what you're seeing here. There's a new build animation as well, which I think is kind of cool. It looks very nice. And again, you can do this. Any of your homies can do this.
So if you put in half.
Yep, you put in half. Your friends can put in half. But whoever put it down is the one who owns
Has
it.
to own it.
Right. What is also cool about this is we also rebalance. I'm going to pull us out of here too. Rebalance some building foam stuff. Nothing really changes here, but there's more granularity with how this works to make it a little bit more.
Yeah, this is a good point because someone did comment earlier on that the nursery costing 20 foam. They're like, "What? That's insane." We forgot to mention
Rebalanced.
Everything.
Yeah,
everything being rebalanced. That's actually like two old foam.
It's two old foam. Yes.
New foam, that's 20, but old foam, that's just 2.
Yeah, it is. It is a significant difference, and I think it might be on the out. Yeah, everybody just look at this slide for a second. Gather information from it if you need to, because I'm pretty sure there's another big one coming.
Yeah. Also, all these names have changed on the right.
Yeah, it's funny we put them. So this slide has the names for this, and then I think 2 slides later it is a bunch of the new names for structures.
Okay, good.
These were all placeholder names previously.
Yeah.
This is what you saw in cycle 4.
Oh, we have if you go back.
Yeah.
So
Everything costs the same or less.
we do have bigger creative aspirations than calling our base building assets printer M.
You don't like wall 1 and wall 2? I can't believe that.
Just to be clear, people say everything costs more. That's not true. It's everything is basically the same price or cheaper.
You just get more when
foam
you're making
is
it.
just smaller and more of it.
Inflation, baby.
And it says max runs 1 to 3. You see it's quantity per run, so it's 30 instead of 1.
Yeah.
So you're actually still getting 3 times the amount per run. And
Correct.
remember, those runs are essentially continuous. So as long as you have the input, every time a printer completes 1 run, you will get 30 in one go.
So what Olof is saying nicely is Crimea River.
He is trying to say that, yes. Over here.
He's saying we're not being unreasonable.
Real.
Really. I mean,
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll still be, we'll still have complaints about it. Big news. We did change the way turrets work because they were kind of bad before. And not kind of bad, they were really bad. I think nobody here is going to disagree with that. They were really hard to balance, and they also were really easily tricked by basic strategies. So we're trying to fix those, at least in the short term. This is the
word smart was a misnomer.
Yeah, they were not smart.
But this is an interim solution, right?
It is an interim solution. It's an interim solution. We have a longer term base building solution in mind, and that part of that is the destruction and rebuilding we talked about fairly recently. That did not make it in for cycle 5 start, but this is a good step in the right direction at least. So we have now 3 new turrets. We have the mini turret, the turret, and the heavy turret. Those then are specializing in small targets, medium targets, and large targets. So those turrets have their own weapons. You no longer apply weapons to the turrets, so that way we can balance them separately. This is probably the best idea, honestly, just because it just makes the most sense, at least from in the short term point of view. Previously, we felt like the paradigm was really heavily in favor of the attackers. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. We're now trying to shift it more towards the defenders. So there's at least some balance there, and to make attackers really have to put in a little bit of effort.
There exists a theoretical optimal balance. That optimal balance is a dynamic point that always changes.
Yep.
We are in the pursuit of always following this dynamically changing theoretical balance point.
Yeah.
Whilst being wrong all the time, but the pursuit is there nonetheless.
The way that goes.
If I go very kind of abstract, on it.
Also, here's another big one: additional anchor points for bases. This is a single Lagrange point you're seeing in this image. We're adding multiple
This is like an air horn thing.
Yeah, multiple base anchor points to all L points, ranging from 5 to 20 anchors per location. Players are limited to 1 network node per L point, but what this does allow for, at least in the short term, while we're still working on tribal base building, is something kind of akin to tribal base building. You can at least have
neighbors,
all you and your homies, all at one location, at least at a single L point. So you can at least see people nearby.
Howdy, neighbor.
Howdy, yeah, really. It's a real howdy neighbor moment.
Go over and ask to borrow some sugar.
I was going to say, excuse me, can you spare a cup of sugar? Oh, so here's what we were talking about earlier. We changed a bunch of the names of things. I know some people will get real mad about this because they don't like things to change, but
It's still Printer M though.
it is still Printer M. That's true. Well, it's just Printer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lost the M.
It
So
is
now
lose the
size
M.
undefined.
Yeah. So we're changing just sort of all of these names were placeholder names from previously anyway. Hell.
But just on the turret, some people were asking if there's still a restriction of up to 6. My understanding is
it's on the slide. The next
my understanding it's on the next slide.
It is the next slide. It is the next slide. So everybody just kind of take a look at this, observe this information, put it to your heart.
Screenshot it.
It is going to be relevant here before too long. And then, actually, I lied. It's not on the next one, but it is in here. No, we removed how many turrets you can place down at any given location.
Yeah, it's now just dependent on the power.
Power,
Of your,
yeah.
like the different turrets have different power
with
requirements.
a grounded in science thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is not on.
So if you want to have a network node just purely surrounded by turrets, you
Boy,
can do so.
You absolutely can build that Doom.
You have the
Just
power for it. You can do it.
Just
Yeah.
find the route.
Yeah,
L point could
Yeah.
be just full of losers when they all get eaten by my turrets.
real. Okay, here is a big one as well. And it's so funny because I was talking to CCP Concron about this just a little bit ago, about how it feels like compared to what this actually is, there's very little information up here about it. And I'm like, this is the biggest page of text I've got so far. But we are now rolling out orbital zones, which we were previously calling landscapes, to every system in the game. And not only that, we're also removing all previous dungeons, all the sites that previously were resource collection sites, NPC sites. They are all of them, every single one of them are gone. Now, if you want resources in the game, you have to go into one of the orbital zones. You have to do a little bit of searching for it, and all that stuff is out there. This is coupled with a big distribution update for how resources are distributed in the universe. Not just resources, but also NPCs as well. It's also coupled with, we are adding 15 new versions of the orbital zones on top of the original 5 we had in Cycle 4. They're all unique. They've got new structures, new graphics, new designs, new volumetrics if you're into volumetric clouds. We have a huge update to NPCs. Not only are we now we've I don't actually think I added it here, but there are new NPC models. We're updating how NPCs interact with you. They're not only just going to fly around casually and look at things and shoot you if you get close.
They have objectives.
They have objectives. They have tasks. They have goals. They remember. They think. And
They're like crows.
they don't fuck with crows. They will move between points of interest in a star system, including, yes, they will show up at your base.
Yeah, and it's probably worth mentioning because someone in chat says no more loot anymore. WoW and no more ferals killing in mining sites. And I want to have the Luke Skywalker. Everything you've just said is wrong. Meme.
Yes,
because if you read the next line,
Yeah.
it says so there is plenty of loot. Trust us. But essentially, there's like wrecks and objects that are usually guarded by the NPCs. So you're
Yes.
no longer forced to just go farm NPCs for loot. The NPCs will, of course, protect things that they're trying to guard and stuff like that. But the loot is still definitely there. And then the NPCs, as Jötunn mentioned, move around, do their own thing. And if you're in one of the sites that they like to be around at mining, then they might come and harass you.
And if you have things that they want.
Yes, you can interact as Proto Droid Bot has found. You can go full on like Stardew Valley with the
They'll trade with you.
Yeah, they'll trade with you.
Yeah.
It's not all of them.
Trade with the crows.
Some of them just
Some of them will trade
Some just take.
weapon fire.
Yeah.
But others are
They're exchanging bullets.
Yes, they're exchanging bullets. But yes, we have there. Like I said, this is one page on a slideshow is not really giving away what all this is.
Visuals either.
It is a huge update with a ton of new visuals. We got rid of a bunch of the old NPC names, the old feral groups. The termites, the ocridas, the cicadas, and the osa ferals are all gone. We've now introduced new clades of ferals that are up to date with
following the lore
of the game.
Yep.
And in the near future, I was informed about this by, again, CCP Concron just a few months ago. The NPCs will be salvageable, and the special NPCs will have valuable rewards attached to them. But yes, the NPCs themselves no longer drop loot. You can get loot from wrecks. You can get loot from data or information and resource caches across the universe. But the NPCs themselves are really just there to...
Today, they're protectors.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
In the future, you will be able to salvage from them if you can destroy them gracefully.
Yep.
I think worth calling out here with the orbital zones
Yeah.
and the resources, distributions, etc. Things are bound to be not perfect in the beginning. We're working hard on making sure, especially in the beginning, when you need resources to progress, to get into places you want to live in Frontier. We need here community feedback, reporting as much things as possible that may feel.
If you find any place where it's difficult, and that could be because it's difficult, but it could also be because we've made a mistake.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you let us know, that'll be very helpful to us.
This is also kind of like the signatures and scanning thing we talked about earlier on. This is systemic.
Yeah.
And actually gives us a lot of ability to respond to things quicker without needing to do like huge patches and stuff to address it. So we should be able to respond pretty quickly to these things. But I mean, when a universe is at the moment 25,000 or so solar systems, it can be a bit hard to test it all.
I just had that camera on me looking at my phone the whole time while you were talking. It was very strange.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, not ideal. Okay, moving ahead.
But can you go back one slide?
Yeah.
Such perfect.
Yeah, thank you. What are you looking at?
He's
There's
reading.
nothing in the NPC overhaul on NPC Jötunn.
It's because he's too dangerous to be.
I found the file that controls the intelligence, and it was just blank.
That's
Do you remember? He was showing it before.
in the cloud. It's constantly involved.
There's a lot of smack talking going on here.
There is. I mean,
fact stating is
it's
what I was
because they're very
thinking, but
small. Is the thing.
Truth-casting.
You ever seen a very small dog just go yap yap
Yap,
yap? That's what's happening on the outside this desk.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, and there's an Icelandic saying for it.
Is there?
Yeah, glymur hæst í tómri tunnu.
Which means
The empty barrel has the loudest sound.
sure. Yeah, we've got one in the U.S. too. It's called "Talk Shit, Get Hit." Anyway.
Culturally the same.
Culturally very similar. Moving right along. Here's a cool video showing off one of the new landscapes, including a bunch of signatures over there. You can see
Orbital zones.
orbital zones. Sorry, thank you, orbital zones. I mean, just look at that. I think it's so hot.
Look at
Shout out
this.
to
Think about the trailer.
Yeah, shout out to the chase camera, of course, here as well, being put into practice. You can see signatures around the map. You can actually see this little circular icon here in the center of the screen, or the circular. Well, you can't. It's not really a circle. There's a circle there showing you where there are unresolved signatures around you, which is super helpful. Little arrows down there. And you can't hear it, but again, whenever there's a new signature popping up around you, you'll hear a little tick. It sounds like a Geiger counter. And it is super, super, super useful in these cases. I think it's pretty neat. So then I think this is, I have one more of another. You can see more of these over here. There's more complexity to some of these.
There's a big signature in the middle there.
There's a big signature there in the middle. Yeah, it's a really big one.
Thick boy.
Yeah, real thick lad.
That could be something very valuable.
It could be. It could also be a real big NPC. It could be a player in a battleship.
Yeah.
A battleship. It could be me in a battleship.
Do signatures say scanned once fully analyzed? That's the cool thing. No.
Yeah.
So they degrade. As your ship is still in range and receiving the information, you're not going to lose it. But if you like fly behind a rock, it could track it for a certain amount of time, but it will lose resolution to the point that it loses any information. But signature is gone.
Information is only relevant while it's relevant.
Yeah, there's a dead reckoning aspect, like a static thing, like an asteroid, for example. If you go behind a rock and come back and there's a signature in the same place, your ship's going to be able to resolve it quicker because it's likely it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But if it's like a moving NPC and then you lose track of it, and then suddenly you come out behind a rock and there's other signatures, it's going to be hard for it to determine where it is again.
Dead reckoning is a really good way to look at it, I think. And if you don't know what dead reckoning is, Google it, because it is informing a lot of, I think, ideas, just sort of general thought processes for how information is handled in Frontier. We also are introducing a couple new modules. If you've already seen one of these, you've seen the, I don't remember what we were calling it before. We've introduced a bunch more now. We've introduced the hop, skip, and the leap. They are just the way that they're basically the drives that make you go real fast. You get one by default now when you start out. Your starting ship has a skip, I think, is the small one that goes onto your wind, so you can get through orbital zones more quickly. You don't have to build your first one, but you do have to build ones for bigger ships, and they're all available in the industry system.
Yep.
Also, here's a big one. If you haven't read it already, we're introducing 2 new types of rifts.
Yes.
These are micro rifts that are in basically every system. Micro rifts can be used to get some amount of crude out of. It's not always high quality crude. In fact, it's rarely high quality crude, but it is enough for you to be able to get around, even if it's slowly, while you're still looking for the.
It's like foraging in the forest and like picking up like handfuls of berries. You can keep yourself going, but it's nothing compared to like finding like a industrial farm somewhere.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. They are like mini rifts. So somebody in chat is already asking. They're
rift.
Yeah, rift. Jesus Christ. Don't ever do that again. You got me doing it now too. And of course, we've also changed up the starting regions and moved some things around a little bit to try and make the beginning of the game more interesting for more people. Here is what I think is one of the coolest shots I was able to get all day. So this is one of the new micro rifts. As we pan around here slow, there we go.
Very micro.
That's the sauce, baby. Look at that.
It's very demure.
Very demure, very cute.
Mindful.
I think while we watch this awesome video, what we need the founders to help us with is that these orbital zones are massive, which is why you have a new capability now of travel within these orbital zones. New people coming in won't necessarily be able to figure it out immediately. So helping new people realizing how to travel within these orbital zones, explaining also the signature scanning concept would be of great help for us.
I mean, I found after a little bit of time playing around, it became surprisingly intuitive, surprisingly quickly. I would just open up the system map, look at the different landscapes, knowing what resources I was looking for. Like I needed water ice at one point, which I knew came from comets, so I went out to the far reaches of the system. Now, granted, I do have an advantage that I work here. However, it did feel very intuitive very quickly, and I stopped thinking about it actively, and I realized that maybe after half an hour I wasn't really thinking about it, I was just doing, and it made more sense.
You're going to want to help the new players if possible.
We are going to have a new tutorial coming out, which is to say tomorrow I'm working on a new tutorial, which is going to come out on Wednesday. Don't tell CCP Gnosis that yet. I think he thinks it's done. It's not done.
Just tell him it's done.
CCP Gnosis is done. He doesn't watch these streams. CCP Yikes does though. CCP Yikes is in California right now, so he's not watching.
He's not watching.
What's he gonna do?
Exactly. Yikes isn't a snitch though.
That's true. So we are gonna have a new tutorial that'll have a lot of that information in there for new players. But yes, as always, be good to your fellow man, your fellow writers. They need as much help as they remember. You too once were just a little nooblet, and you needed help as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you were CCP Goodfella, you still need help as much as possible.
Don't disagree.
So here's another big one. If you are a knower, we are introducing a bunch of new balance changes to ships. Not only are we introducing a new ship, the Lie, which first of all, shout out to Solinaria, who was the sole rider who had this one.
That's
in
pretty
Cycle
cool.
4.
And he brought the only lie in existence to the Zaroti event yesterday, which I think is a Chad.
And honestly,
I think that's awesome.
It was kind of a big deal too, because he used the lie to pull off a bunch of the enforcers at one point. So that me and the Mauls could go in and just start blasting at it. It was great until they all started to ignore him again because they're like, okay, well we can't catch him. We'll go back after the Tades. Then they just start blasting Tades instead. So in general, we're just making a bunch of improvements, not improvements, just changes. Up until this point, the Tades was just kind of like the best, one-stop shop for everything. Yeah. It was the best mining ship. It was the best damage dealing ship. It was the best everything. So not only are we going to probably adjust the Tades to make it slightly worse, we are also adjusting the frigates, the rest of the frigates, to make them better, to hopefully try and bring these things up to parity with each other and make them more interesting to fly. So with that in mind, here's the first big change. We're introducing the Lie. Here's some stats over here on the left. You can read at your own pace. But basically, the Lie is kind of a mix between the MCF and the half. So it does a little bit of both. It also is very cool. If you were part of, I think, cycle 1 or 2, you remember this as the Microptero. It is a cool little guy. You can ask Solinar about it. He's been flying it for a couple weeks. And it is it's fast. It's still a frigate, but it's a zippy little guy, and it does its job pretty well. Moving on, we made, of course, then some changes to the Tades as well. We've reduced or rearranged its slot layout. We've made it a little bit faster. But we've also made its agility lower. We've changed its angular speed. We have also now removed the ability to put tier 2 engines on destroyers to make it a little bit less, just a little bit less all around.
A little bit less.
Yeah, just a little bit less. It should be good, but it should not be busted. And previously it was
Very
busted. Moving right along, we also now have changes to the Reaver and the recurve. The recurve has been pretty bad compared to the Reaver for a long time. So now we're trying to distinguish it, make sure that it has its own identity. So you can see we've updated we've increased its power grid, made it a little bit faster. It is slightly less agile than it was previously, and it has a slightly better angular speed. The Reaver, for example, has also had its agility increased, and it has had its max angular speed increased as well. Then we have, of course, the half and the MCF. Both of these have been changed a little bit as well, just because they weren't quite fitting in the roles they were supposed to be fitted into. So the half specifically has been improved to become a more combat focused ship, a heavy combat focused ship, while the MCF is mostly had its mobility adjusted, which I think these two, I flew the half a little bit earlier. It feels like a heavy frigate. I'll give you that. It feels strong in a way that it maybe didn't before. And then, of course, we have the three. Let's go back here real fast. Come on. There we go. The three biggest ships in the game, the Maul, the Laura, and the Chumach, have all been adjusted slightly. The Maul has had its slot profiles adjusted as well. It also adds an additional high slot that supports turrets. So the Maul is just better now than it was before. And the Laura and Chumach also are just had their mass adjusted a little bit. The Laura is slightly larger, and the Chumach is slightly smaller.
And remember that mass is now important because you are now more detectable.
Yep. Yes. You are if you are in a bigger ship, you are more easily visible to other players in the universe. So we've also changed up the nanitic armor weave, the adaptive nanitic armor weave, rather. We also added it to the market, the Weave 4. Please stop messaging me about it. I weep now.
You need to test that it works. So every time you find one on the market, please message CCP Jötunn.
You should not do that.
That'll be
please,
a data
God.
point, important data
I'm
point.
begging you. Please let me rest. So we did do this. Some notes here as well for that if you want to know more about it. We had a bunch of audio updates that are very cool. Shout out to CCP
Rolls.
No, it's not Rolls anymore. He's changed his
Rebranded.
CCP
Audio?
Heretic. That's right. This is CCP Heretic.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
That's a good one.
CCP Heretic, who went through and added a bunch of really cool new sounds. You'll notice immediately, I think the very first your spawn in has new music, new battle music too, which is super cool. A lot of new sound effects as well for weapons also. And then for art updates, shout out to the art team who's always kind of cagey about what information they have available. Here's some stuff, and I'm going to show you some images. Just know that it's a lot. Everything that has been touched previously up to this point has had art passes done to it. There's a lot of stuff in here.
And I want to call out that over the next 2 weeks, that same art team continues to iterate.
Yep.
So we're going to see even more coming out.
Indeed. Okay, let's go ahead and then look at this. Is another rift. You can see this cool red energy. I don't know which rift this was, but it is a rift. Certainly.
Can't confirm.
Can't confirm. It's very rift.
I think this was the red one.
This is the red
The
one.
other one, conversely, known as the blue
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some cool images here of some of the new orbital zones. Some cool stuff going on in these. And then we have new turret models. This is not, I think, for every single weapon, but a lot of the weapons have new turret models.
Yep. The cool thing is these are all dynamic models that move around, do stuff, have VFX attached to them, stuff. So they're not just like static bits of geometry. They're actually pretty
These are
active.
turrets.
Yeah.
They look very cool in action.
There are a couple of them that I wanted to include in here, but I think there's a bug in them on a couple of them right now where, right now you can see the axes show is 21 meters long. So it scales the frame of that image at 21 meters. Some of them have an axis that's like 800 meters long. So when you go to pull up the images of them, they're tiny in the center of the screen. You can't see anything. A problem for another day. So a lot of cool new turret models in here as well.
It's looking fucking cool.
Weapon VFX, everything. It's all great.
Yep.
So here's the end of it. The Cycle 5 starts on March 11th. That is Wednesday. The downtime will begin at 9 a.m. UTC. That is 5 a.m. Eastern. And what is it? Like
1.
No, it's daylight savings is over 2 a.m. I think Pacific now.
That's right.
This is a pretty big technical lift, obviously.
I like the increased technical lift. Yeah, we just entirely changed the entire tech stack.
Yes.
It
is going to probably cause it's a big one. Yes. We're expecting it to last, I think, maybe 7 hours is what we're aiming for.
It's going to take us our day to do it.
Yeah.
And we'll get it up as soon as we can.
Yep. Indeed. So we are hoping to end downtime around 4 o'clock UTC, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, stay tuned in Discord, and we will let you know if anything changes.
I mean, so
we should have like a slow TV of just you watching.
We have to actually talk about
until we get ready to go live.
We have talked about something similar to that. I will say, like, this is the number of people involved in doing the press button get new version of Eve Frontier will be quite significant. The biggest group of people that need to all do stuff at the same time, and all the stuff needs to connect and link.
Yeah,
it is a pretty substantial effort. There's in the region of like 20 plus people who are going to be doing stuff that all has to happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is why we're giving ourselves plenty of time to do this.
And we're
practicing
it now and getting it wrong now, but we're going to be better by then.
So I have given us what I think is hopefully, touch wood, a suitable amount of time to get this all done in a nice, slow, relaxed manner. To that end, I have booked a cake for 3 p.m. UTC.
Oh, no.
So I am putting my cake where my mouth is in this instance.
Hopefully.
For me.
Yeah.
So the team cake. So I'm hoping that
for you.
it's just for me. You guys did a great job.
Roll a giant sheet cake over my
head.
It
just
like
MVP overload.
Good job, CCP overload.
Hey.
You did it.
So I'm hoping that things will be in a nice, good state. That'll give us plenty of time to just jump on, test stuff, and then we if it is ready in advance, we're not going to open it early. It's not fair for those of you who are like aiming for that time, so it will be no earlier than 1600. But hopefully, that's more than enough time, and then we'll know for the future.
Someone in chat want to know when Cycle 5 starts.
We'll never know.
It's there. That's the one. That's Cycle 5.
Do you have? Is this the last slide?
That's the last slide.
Okay.
Last slide.
I think also worth calling out, as we mentioned on Friday, this is a big technical lift. As you see it all, there's a lot of things. The entire gameplay experience of Frontier is changing with this release.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not trying to overhype it. I think it's just like more of a
No, it's true.
fact.
It is.
Yeah. We recognize that. We know this will be a bit chaotic. It's like we operate on that assumption. If we somehow got it all right, perfect, odds are against us. So we need the founders playing.
Yeah, 30,000 files getting changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure we didn't mess up anything in any of those files.
Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. We know that is the case. We're prepping for that. So the next 2 to 3 weeks are us playing the game and iterating on the live experience with the founders.
Yeah.
So we need everybody playing. We need everybody commenting on Discord. We will be aggressively going through it all. We need everybody talking in the chat channels, giving us feedback inside the game. We need people filing bug reports, etc., etc. Play, give us feedback, and you will see the experience improve right in front of your eyes.
We will be fixing things continually.
Yeah,
exactly.
We are going to be doing another stream on Wednesday. We have 3 streams this week. We'll do a stream on Wednesday to kick off the hackathon.
Ooh,
I
nice.
don't know who's actually going to be on that stream because I'm pretty sure everybody who needs to be involved is going to be working
deploying
during the deployment. So
I can join.
yeah,
I can show my work.
I've got you down for critical roles on that day.
Eating cake.
You've got to eat the cake.
Yeah, somebody's going to eat the cake. So
You've been assigned at least 50% of the cake.
I think we're going to bring some of the cake in here.
yeah, we'll just eat
Yeah,
cake.
I'll eat cake here.
That'll be our kickoff stream. We'll just eat cake in
When's
here.
the kickoff stream?
I don't have a time yet.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you want cake, it has to be after 3
3
p.m.
o'clock. Very good.
Let's have a cake stream. I'll eat
We'll do a cake
here in
stream.
front
Sure,
of everybody.
we're gonna do a cake stream.
We should do the couch stream we talked about.
We are gonna do. So here's what we're gonna do. Also on Friday, we're going to be doing a Let's Play of Cycle 5.
Nice.
Live from our studio here, live from the office here. You'll be seeing me playing the game. We'll have a couch set up. You'll see the whole office just kind of mingling back there. You'll have people sitting at the couch watching. I have a big monitor. They can just sort of watch the.
No, we're gonna heckle.
Yeah,
I was gonna pretend I was asking for permission, but
permission granted.
Inevitable. So we're gonna be doing that. If you want to watch that stream, that'll be. I think it will take over Frontier Friday this next week.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try and see if I can bump off Live to Feed so we can go a little bit longer.
Shouldn't it be a Live to Feed thing? Have the EVE Online community team join us?
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. They're a little dodgy, those community team guys. You can't trust them. That being said, except for CCP Convict, who is a real homie today. Thank you, CCP Convict. And CCP Zealous, who's my number one. And CCP, okay, they're all great.
They're all good.
They're all good.
Yes.
With that all being said, that's all we've got for now. We're going to have the patch notes that will go out on Wednesday morning.
Why don't we just put them out?
We'll put it out today.
We could.
I mean, we've just told everyone.
Let me make sure they're done. Let me make sure that everybody, all the devs have finished all this. I'm going to, in fact, when we're finished here,
do a net check.
I'm going to walk over to the office and I'm going to say, hey, this is the absolute last call because when I go home, I'm going to publish the patch notes. You need to get it done.
Okay.
I think we'll have everything. So,
but this is more a testament of everything that has gone in. We aren't sure if this is capturing everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. So we'll have patch notes going out here soon. We'll have more information about the launch on Wednesday when we actually go down. We'll keep you guys updated about all new things. If you haven't yet, go check out the trailer for Cycle 5. It's super cool. You can see CCP Goodfella yapping, which you should be used to at this point, honestly.
I recommend that someone in Discord start some sort of sweepstake at how many minutes after 9 a.m. we get the first person asking why the server's offline. It happens every time.
It's inevitable. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us here on Frontier Monday. Which is very unusual, but we love doing these.
Yeah, we love Mondays. We're
big fans. Big fan of Mondays. I've been CCP Jötunn. This has been CCP Bowman. That's been CCP Goodfella, and that's been CCP Overload. Thank you all so much. We'll see you on Wednesday for the start of Cycle 5. And until next time, my friends, we'll see you on the Frontier. Have a good day.